The Backrooms is one of the biggest things the internet has ever created, spawning multiple interpretations in different mediums like Escape the Backrooms, Kane Parsons' web series and movie, American Horror Story, and to think it all started just from some anonymous dude taking a picture of a hobby town under renovation. But aren't I thankful for what it's evolved to?
Where am I? What?
I first saw this thanks to a tweet from my buddy Asame. He wanted to call it Peak so bad, but he was just very confused.
This is not my door?
I didn't get to watch all of it, partially because the scene was so intense that it ended up giving me a sunburn. But like, come on, I just had to know more about it. I think I might have been a little too mean and naive in the last movie I watched. Like, Go Anime was just clearly made by some kid who wanted to get all creative with his passion project or whatever. But most importantly, he was not charging you money for it. I can't really say the same for this one. Now, the main place I was able to find this was on Tubi, but if I wanted to watch it repeatedly without ads, which I imagine the filmmakers really wanted you to, then you'd have to spend $10 for that. You could buy a whole Wendy's meal with that, but you'd rather watch this middle-aged man scream and point at things for an hour. But I've already wasted enough time here. So anywho, Amityville Backrooms. They've really dragged everything in this. So the movie starts off on
We all know about the lore of Amityville. A more recent phenomenon, or urban legend, is the Backrooms. We are going to discuss all of this and more on the podcast, and I want to hear your thoughts as well.
Okay, so you're just advertising your podcast while summarizing the plot to the audience? I don't think I've ever seen this amazing start for a movie before. And I think they should change that.
Now, you may have heard of bats, but have you ever heard of men? Today, we're going to be finding out what happens if you put these two creatures together after a word from today's sponsor, Raid Shadow Legends.
Alright. I know I'm not getting out of here.
Is he stuck in the back rooms?
I know I'm never getting out of here.
If he is, then he's taking it pretty well.
I know I'm never getting out of here. I know that I'm never getting out of here.
He's pointing around like this, like he's some high school teacher yelling at his class.
I know that I'm never getting out of here.
Never in my 6 years of teaching at this school.
I'm never getting out of here.
So the movie opens for a third time with this generic cozy home while playing the most intense music ever made. I've never been more stressed over a child's drawing of a pizza in my life. So we meet our main guy, and he works in real estate or something. But if I can tell you one thing, he's probably the nicest agent you can ever find.
I want you to go out tonight. I want you to have a nice dinner with your old lady. I want you to enjoy yourself. You smoke a cigar if you have to. You like to smoke cigars? I got one for you. I got a connection. He's from the Dominican Republic. He's gonna give you some Cubans. You like Cubans?
This guy can turn any funeral into a birthday party.
Hey, listen, I want some smiles on that face.
So if you couldn't tell, that dude is really passionate about getting Bob and his wife a home, even though we never hear Bob's voice, despite how many times our agent does.
Bob, 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 Bob. Hello?
Oh, that must have been Bob. You know.
Bob, I'm gonna pick you up, put you over my shoulder, and throw you into that house.
Actually, I think I'm gonna have to change my mind. Because if there's one thing I love much more than our dear agent, it's scenes with nothing at all happening in them.
Good.
This movie has so many pointless and unnecessary scenes that are just there to fill runtime. I think the director was behind the camera actively telling the actor, hey, we gotta reach the 1 hour and 10 minute mark. Can you yeah, play drums on your desk. Yeah, that'll do it. Do you know how much more money the real movie would have made if you include a pissing scene in it? I don't know, maybe it'll make sense when I check out his podcast. There's also a lot of jump cuts in the movie. Like, I counted 10 of them in only the scene with him on the phone. I don't really know how to explain it, but it just makes everything so choppy and weird. Then we finally get our first look at the titular Amityville Backrooms. And you may be wondering, how does he get there? Like, does he fall through the floor? Does he walk through a wall? No. It's even better. He just... Where did he go? He disappeared with the worst sound I've heard in my life into the vast and expansive Amityville Backrooms. The dimension beyond our understanding.
Where am I?
Where is he?
What? This is not my door? This isn't, this is not my office.
I love how much of a minor inconvenience this is for him. Like, getting trapped in a parallel world has as much impact as forgetting your wallet.
This is not...
This is not my door? I don't know, maybe the Cuban cigars are making his reaction a lot more sedated.
What happened to this? Okay, hold on, think. This is that house. This is not my office.
Oh my god! Maybe you could find your way out if you stop rambling in the corner like a small child.
Okay. I wasn't in my office. This isn't right. Something's wrong. Focus. Where's the door?
It's behind you! So after 2 whole minutes of that, he gains the courage to walk around the room where he learns what windows are for the first time.
I can see out here.
It turns out he's actually in the house that was shown off in the beginning of the movie. You know, the one with the...
That's not possible.
For 5 whole minutes, he tries to find his door, so he goes to the only place that would have an office door, which is, naturally, the backyard.
This is good.
I swear this dude treats this basic-ass house like he's lost in some dense jungle. Luckily, at last, he finds an exit, but oh no. And in case you were wondering, yes, he's still going to observe, point, and shout at things.
There's our phones. Non-working phones. Sitting on the kitchen countertop. Non-working phones. No door. I can see outside. But the problem is, I can't get outside. I've got to find the magic place where outside is. But I can't get outside because there's this mystery door to get out there.
He's getting outside.
I'm getting outside.
At this moment, our agent dude is pretty lost, physically and mentally.
Maybe I could call no one to find out where no door is.
He has no way out, so his way of coping is becoming a family sitcom character.
This place, Amityville, sucks. This place, yeah, nice home. Yeah, how much is you selling it for? 2 nickels. Nope, too pricey.
But unexpectedly, he finds a worn-out, ancient tape of film on his phone. Of him walking through the house, pointing at things again. Oh my god.
68 popcorn ceiling. Paint. And I love that there is 1 coat of paint in this room.
Also, I love this still image of him holding up his phone while the video plays. It's a very cool effect, I might add. So halfway through the movie, a breaking news segment goes on to talk about a little boy who went missing and
never showed up.
This never comes back, by the way.
You stop this now, or you're gonna regret it.
He eventually stumbles upon a garage with this dude inside of it.
Do you know, like, is this your house? My name's Keith. I'm a real estate agent. Could you lend me a hand and just show me how to... I don't know what's happening. Can you help me out and get out of here, or are you just,
Who did he see? What did he see? Don't worry, that's not important either. Side note, but I really hope the guy who did the music for this movie got a really big paycheck. So a week passes and we get to see our man Alex, the only other actual character in the movie. It kind of makes me want to do a little tier list. Let's see, Alex is going in B, news guy in C, the screaming middle-aged dude named Keith is an unambiguous A, and the podcast dude is going at the top. Alex finds some paper he needs to drop off, so he goes to the Amityville Backrooms house during the day. Oh, sorry, it's a night. No, wait, it's daytime, sorry.
Alex!
You don't want to piss him off. Also, I'm like 90% sure you can hear the cameraman eating or sucking on something. Something else I forgot to mention is that at random points during the movie, there are just like glitchy static effects of a ghost guy from time to time. I didn't feel like explaining it because nobody in the film ever acknowledges it either. Until this moment. Mind you, you were supposed to pay $10 for this. Is that supposed to be the monster? Just some military soldier from the 1940s making wolf noises?
And now the news with me, Peter Summers.
The man saw the ghost of a 1940s military soldier making wolf noises. Here is our main suspect. Keith is still walking. Now, I understand I made fun of this movie a lot, but in all of its fairness, I think we should spend a minute or two to focus on its many brilliant creative decisions. Firstly, I've come to really appreciate how nearly every scene ends on a random freeze frame with the iconic grating soundtrack. And secondly, he's escaped the house with no explanation. He may have to remind himself that he's free, but at least the movie is almost over.
Never getting out of here!
What a confident man he is.
You know why you're here? This is the home you wanted.
Oh no! It's Tomater!
And now you're gonna get it.
So on Alex's hefty search, he watches a cringe compilation of his coworker before Yeah.
What the hell's going on?
This is not my door? Why is it a repeated pattern for anybody who stumbles into this place to cover their face like it's some mild annoyance? Oh god, I'm in the back rooms. I was supposed to be at the club. Also, if you listen real closely to this part, you can hear him have diarrhea. So after he stares at the window for 3 minutes, he keeps fiddling around the house for an additional 10 minutes. What? It's an alien. Wow, look behind you, dude.
Keith?
That's how it ends. I'm not joking, that's how the movie ends. I think the funniest part about watching this movie on Tubi, because there's no way in hell I'd actually spend money on this, is that when it ended, the top recommendations were The Enchanted, The Nightmare Room, The Twilight Zone, and Chad Wild Clay, and Panda vs. Aliens, I guess. So overall, I know what IMDb says, but if it were up to me, I would give this movie a wholehearted 8 screaming middle-aged men out of 10. I just wish there were more pissing scenes, though. Maybe I should just look and see what the director made before this. Death Toilet? This is the best day of my life. So that's gonna do it for the video, and... what? Where am I? This is not my door?